first? Let me see. Gracie, you would it. So here goes. What do you do first? That's what our job is. How do you want to start it? You like fractions? No, not really, no. So I want to get rid of the fraction. So what am I going to do? Kaden, help her out. What are we going to do? Get rid of the fraction. Why? Yeah, really, it's the opposite of divide, but there's a 3 in the denominator, so we're going to times by 3, but if I do it on this side, I also have to do it on this side. This problem looks much better. Now, on test yesterday, that was like a huge problem. Nobody knew what to do with their fractions, they left fractions over fractions, etc. Okay, what do we do next? Larry, what do we do next? What are we trying to do? So what do I need to move? The H. How do I move the H? Why? There you go. See, you did know. So I'm going to divide by 8. Is that what you did? Couple people yesterday on their test when I was grading this subtracted 8. Why would that be wrong? It's not adding. You do the opposite of what it's doing. This is multiplying. So I'm going to divide. So I've got 3v over h equals s squared. This is the tricky one, right? Because I got a squared there. Macy, what are we going to do? Why? And when you undo a square, you square root. So if I square root this side, I have to do the square root of that side. So I get the square root of 3v over h equals s. Anytime I put a square root, put a plus or minus if it's equal to something. And there's your answer. Okay, what are you going to do now? When we finish our bell quiz, what do we do now? We take you guys are no questions. So go for it. We're going to get to that. Right? Let's talk about our assignment from yesterday. We had problems 1 through 10. Here, let's do the 2.1 part first. Is there any questions from 2.1? Remember, if you turn it in tonight before 10 o'clock, because I changed it to 10, you need a packet. Anybody else need one? If you turn it in tonight before 10 o'clock, you get your 2 extra credit points, right? Except we don't call them extra credit points. You get our 2 bonus points for doing it early. Okay, so this is what we did. We did 2.1 assignment. We did 1 through 10. Which is right here. 1 through 10. And then we crossed out all of these, 11 through 21, and did 22 through 27. Okay? And we're not coming back to these. We won't do these ever. So you could go ahead and cross them out. Okay, if there's no questions there, we're going to go to 2.2. On 2.2 assignment, I told you to cross these first ones out. And you're supposed to do from 18 to 30. But I told you don't cross these out because we're going to do them later. Right? So now's later. So unless we've got questions on the first 18 to 30. Yes. 25. Okay. Let's look at these down here for just a minute. 25. Okay, so up here, it was just asking me on these, not numbers. It didn't want to, how big is it, like at 42 degrees or an estimate. It wanted to know what angle is equal to LEI. So if I had LEI, this one right here, which angle would be equal to that one? Okay, that's what it's asking. Now, down here it says LEF. This one right here, LEF is 18 degrees. So if this one's 18 degrees, can you see another angle that's 18 degrees? What one? Say it. PES. PES. This one is also 18 degrees. So look down here. Measure of PES is 18. And that's our answer. Does that make sense? Any others? There were 2 hands up when it started. Chloe. Now have the angle. So remember, E is going to be always in the middle. We know that E is always in the middle. So what would it be? You could do PES or SEP. Same answer. Yeah. I lied. It's not that. LEI is right here. The one that's equal to that is SED. Does that make sense? That's what I'm looking for on all of these. It's just what angle's the same as those. Okay. 26. Sure. LEI wants to know this one. It told us that this one's 18 and this one up here, IEP, is 113. Anybody got an idea on that one? I'm going to start coloring with all kinds of colors and it will get messy real fast, but it's okay. Are you ready? You watching? Look right here. What's this? How many degrees in a line? Well, I already know what this is, right? Let's zoom it in a little bit. I already know this is a line, and in a line it's 180 degrees, and I know how big this is because I can just add these two, right? So how would I find that one? Minus that from 180, that being what? Okay, well tell me what I'm doing, and I'll do it for you. Adding what? 113 and 18 is 131. 180 minus 131 is 49. So this angle would be 49. So down here, my answer would be 49. Good. Okay, so today, we're going back. We're going to do some problems from section 2 still, and then we're going to do some problems from section 3. Okay? So we did three assignments in 2 days. Well, when we were cruising through these the other day, we did these ones that were really easy. If you turn the page right before our assignment, they came to these harder ones, and they're only harder because they put X's in them. Okay, do you see that? So look at this one. It says 13 and 14. What do you know about 13 and 14? What kind of angles are they? Remember from yesterday. They are adjacent. What else? Supplementary. I heard that word. What does that mean? What does supplementary mean? It makes 180 degrees. So look, I know that this angle and this angle, when I add them together, make 180 degrees, right? Well, look up here. It says this angle is 4x plus 11. And this angle is 3x plus 1. I put them backwards. This one's here and this one's here. You got that? But still, if I add them together, you told me 3x plus 1 plus 4x plus 11 has to equal what? 180. Well, that's just an easy algebra problem, right? So how do I do this? And they're on the same side, so do I subtract 4x over here? No, what do I do? So what do I get? 7x plus 12 equals 180. Then what? Do what? Minus the 12, so I get 7x equals 168. Then what? And I get x equals 24. Now, if that's all it asks for is x, I'm done. But what if it asks for how big is angle 14? What am I going to do if it asks for how big is angle 14? Well, x is 4. 24, sorry. 4 was a better number. It's easier, right? I'm just kidding. So if I want angle 14, what I have to do is I have to put this x back in place of that x in here, and I get 3 times 24 plus 1. Well, that's easy because that's not even algebra. That's just basic math. 3 times 24 plus 1. And I get 73. Or I could do 4 times 24 plus 11. And I get 107. See how it works? Okay, sometimes they're going to just ask for x. Sometimes they're going to ask for your angles. Let's look at the next one. Here we go. We're here, right? I'm going to zoom it in just a bit. I'm going to look at it so it moves everything like that. Okay, here goes. Maybe you should focus. Oh, that's better. Okay, so here we go. 2 and 3. What do you know about 2 and 3? What kind of angles are they? Vertical. What do we know about vertical angles? They're equal. So how am I going to set this problem up? 4x minus 26 equals 3x plus 4. We know how to solve that. That was on our last test, right? What do? How? Minus the 3x, right? And this goes away. I get x plus minus 26 is equal to 4. Now what? Add 26 and I get x equals 30. If it asks for x, I'm done. What if it says find angle 2? Well, up here at the top it says 2 is 4x minus 26. So what do? 4 times 30 minus 26. And I get 4 times 30 minus 26 is 94. Good job. How big is angle 3? What? Who said that? Aisha, was that you? How come? Ah, so I know if this one's 96, this one's or 94, gosh, then this one also is 94, right? You guys feel like I'm yelling at you? Don't be. Okay. 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 That's not what you. So that's how we do those problems. All right. You have to look for how they're related to each other. What kind of angles are they? Then I set it up based on what kind of angles they are. Okay. If they're equal, I set them equal to each other. If they're supplementary, then what? What's their supplementary? That when I do what with them? When I add them together, they equal 180. What if they're complementary angles? When they're complementary, I add them together to equal 90. Okay, so a couple other things we're going to talk about. We'll come back to some of those if you need me to. So you're going to finish up this assignment, 2-2. Okay, so you're going to do all of them from 31 on down today. And then we're going to look at this. This one is supposed to be review. And I found that it's not bad as long as you remember the terms. So we're going to go over the terms. Here's what it says. It says two angles. No, it doesn't say that. It says lines in the same plane do not intersect are what? If I have two lines in the same plane that don't intersect, what are they? Parallel. There's our word. Are parallel. A parallel. Oh, wait. Now, so I got two parallel lines right here. One right here, one right here. When I draw parallel lines on a paper, I'm going to put a little arrow on it. And as soon as you see this little arrow on my two lines, you know they're parallel. Okay, that's what those two lines mean. So these two lines are parallel lines. Okay? So we're going to write these two lines are parallel out here. Okay, a blank. This line right here has a special name. Does anybody know what this line is called? It's called a transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines. It only has to intersect two or more lines. It doesn't say how, but it has to cross over two or more lines. When parallel lines are cut by a transversal, special angles are formed. Okay? So, here goes. This line is called a transversal. These two lines are parallel. This part and this part is the exterior, is the dark gray, and the part in the middle is called the interior. Why would they call them exterior and interior? What do those two words mean? Inside and outside. Interior is inside, exterior is outside. You have exterior paint, you use it to paint the outside of your house. You have interior paint, you use it to paint the inside of your house. What happens if you use interior paint on the outside of your house? And it peels off. Yep. Okay, parallel lines cut by a transversal make special angles. Here's the kinds of angles it makes. Vertical angles. We know vertical angles, right? Give me an example, Kate, of two vertical angles from this. Don't cheat and look. Now you will, huh? 1 and 4. 1 and 4 are vertical angles. So vertical angles are found at the same vertex, but are non-adjacent angles. Vertical angles are what? Somebody said it. Equal. Equal. Or congruent, which means the same thing. Congruent means that they are equal. They have the same measurement. Okay? So 1 and 4 are vertical angles. This little symbol, do you see it right here? It's like this. It's the equal sign with this little squiggle on it above it. That means congruent. Did you learn that last year? I don't know if some of you did, some of you didn't, some of you don't remember. Hopefully you already knew that. So going down, 5 is vertical to, or 5 and what are vertical angles? 8. Something and 2. What angle and 2? 3 and 2 are vertical. So angle 3 is congruent to angle 2. Okay? We got that one? So some of us need to make sure we just color some in so we know what we're talking about. So if you want to color in 1 and 4, that gives us an idea of vertical angles. Okay? So we're just going to color in 1 and 4. So we know that they're across from each other like that. Okay, are you ready for the next one? The next one is alternate interior angles. Let's think about this exterior angles, sorry. We know they're exterior angles. What does that tell me if they're exterior? They're on the outside. What do you think alternate means? Alternate means opposite sides of the line. Okay, opposite sides of the transversal. So alternate exterior are found in the exterior of the parallel lines on different vertices and alternate the transversal. Alternate exterior angles are equal, which is what? Congruent. So, Brett, give me an example of alternate exterior angles. 1 and 8. So 1 right here, coloring it in again, and 8 down here. Not on the same vertex. They're on the outsides of the parallel lines, opposite sides of the transversal. So here goes. 1 and 8 are alternate interior angles. What else is alternate exterior angles? 2 and 7. Angle 2 is equal to angle 7. Congruent. You got that one? Turn the page. Next one is alternate interior angles. Well, that should be easy if we knew alternate exterior. Andrew, what would be alternate interior angles? Give me an example. Alternate means opposite sides of the line. Interior means in between the parallel lines. So 3 and 6 are alternate interior angles. 3 and 6, okay? So alternate interior angles, do you think they're congruent or supplementary? Do they look the same size? Or do they look different sizes? They are also congruent. Okay? What's the other set of alternate interior angles? Not 3 and 6, but what? 4 and 5. So angle 4, angle 5. Okay, here goes. Next one. This one's, look at the difference here. This was alternate interior. This is consecutive interior. So what do you think consecutive interior is? They're on the interior of the parallel at different vertices. They are on the same side. Sometimes we call these same side interior angles. What do you know about these two angles? They are supplementary. Which means what? They add up to 180 degrees. So, angle 4, this one, and this one, angle 6, are on the same side in the middle, so they're same side interior. Have you guys heard this before? Is this new? Has everybody heard this before? Somewhere back in 7th or 8th grade, they were supposed to teach it to you. Larry's going like this. That means maybe I remember hearing it at one time, but I don't remember it. Okay. Is this helping? Okay. So we got 4 and 6. What are the other same side interior angles? 3 and 5. So what do you know about 3 and 5? When I add them together, what do they equal? 3 and 5 equal 180. Okay. The next one is probably my favorite, but it's the hardest one to explain. They're called corresponding angles. Okay. Corresponding angles occupy the same position at different vertices. So like angle 1 right here, and then this is at this vertice. Then I got to go to the other vertice and go the same position. So what would it be? Same position right here. So 1 and 5. Okay. 1 and 5. These angles are congruent, which means equal. Good. Okay, so 1 and 5 are corresponding angles. 2 and what other one? 2 and 6 are corresponding angles. So 2 is congruent to 6. Something and 7. 3 and 7. Angle 3 is congruent to 7. What are the last two? 4 and 8. Okay, yesterday we learned about linear pairs. There's a whole bunch of linear pairs here, right? Somebody give me one set of linear pairs. Alyssa, give me a set of linear pairs. 1 and what? 1 and 2 are linear pairs. How do I know if something's a linear pair? What does it make? A straight line. See how that makes a straight line? So they are supplementary. The 1 and 2, 1 and 3 are also. What is with 3 besides 1? What's another one? 4. Good. 2 and 4 are also a linear pair. So angle 4 plus angle 2 equals 180. 5 and what are linear pairs? 6. What other one? 7. Angle 5 plus angle 6 is equal to 180. Angle 5 plus angle 7 is equal to 180. What about 7? Besides 5, what other one is? 8. So angle 8 plus 7 equals 180. What other one is congruent or a linear pair with 6? 8. Okay? And those are what we need to know. So today, this assignment, what I want you to do is I want you to go okay, I'm going to have you just do part of it. Now, how much time we got? 20 minutes still? 15? 20? We still have 20 minutes. No? What time do we get out? 30? We got 15. Okay, so let's do the odds on 2.3, just the odds. If you need more practice, like you think, I don't know that I'm going to get it with just the odds, then do the evens also. It's not a big deal, but I want you to go all the way to 30. So there's 15 problems here, and then these problems over here from 2.2. Okay? We won't come back. So you just have to do the odds. Unless I feel like tomorrow or Monday when we start that we don't get it. I mean, if we need to, we can spend more time, but I think we get it. I don't know. After we do it, we'll see, won't we? Okay. And so what you're doing on these right here, you're saying 3 and 7. What kind of angles are 3 and 7? If you have to look it back up, look it back up. But what kind of angles are 3 and 7? Corresponding. And then I also want you to tell me, are they congruent or supplementary? So you're going to have two things there. You're going to have corresponding